What's up guys, Juan. So what we're doing today is an oil change. This is a 2013 Lexus GS350. Should be the same all the way up through 2017, but check your manufacturer specifications. As you can see here, OW20 engine oil. So this is what you're gonna need. I have 7 quarts of Mobil 1 OW20 for Toyotas. This is the one it calls for. I ended up getting a K&N oil filter. It was only $8, so might as well get a better quality oil filter. You're also going to need a 14mm socket and or wrench for the drain plug, and you're also going to need a Toyota specific oil filter housing to be able to remove it. I think I got this. This is like a, what does it say, 65 and 65 or 14. I've had this for a long time. I have quite a few of these different ones, so I just happen to have it. But if you guys should be able to get them from Walmart, AutoZone, or something like that. So, and we're also going to need a drain, an actual drain container. Give me a second here. I already took a few little things off, but I'll go over it in a second. So back here is your drain plug. So it's a 14mm socket. So we'll go ahead and break that loose. Drain pan in the right spot. Go ahead and take the plug out. There it is right there. So we'll let that completely drain, clean our drain plug, put that bad boy right there. Okay, so now, so you see where it's draining from right now. If you come, let me move that back a little bit. If you come further back right here, there's a little port. So it's these 3 screws, they're 10mm, or just regular Phillips head screwdriver. And this comes out, and right up in here we have our oil filter housing right here. So that's where that adapter comes into place. So now we're gonna put the drain plug back in since it was a slow drip, and we'll take our handy dandy rag, wipe that off. And what I like to do, you take a little bit of brake clean. And brake clean is very good for dissolving. So we'll just hit that, and it also it evaporates very quickly. So now we'll take our ratchet and we'll go ahead and tighten our drip oil pan. You don't want to over tighten these. A lot of people have done that. You just want a light snug. Okay, I'm just at a weird angle, so that should be good. Now, see if I can get a flashlight. If you look right here, so that is our oil filter housing. So we're gonna get our socket adapter with our ratchet. Move our oil pan in this direction. Alright, so you take your adapter and it goes right on the end of it, and you go ahead and loosen it up. Eventually it'll get loose enough to where you can do it by hand. So there, that's good enough. So we'll go ahead and let me move this over just a little bit more. Might be kind of hard to see, but taking it out by hand, and oil's already starting to come out. Let me move that over. It's not in the actual. So dripping right inside of our pan there. And there shouldn't be like too much, just because most of it's in the oil sump, but there will be a decent amount. So you can loosen it up like that and just let it do its thing for about a minute or so. There we are. And we'll leave that there, let that drain for a second. I'm gonna leave the thing right there, let the excess oil drain out of the cap. And yeah, we'll let it do its thing for a second. All right, so now we're gonna take our old O-ring off, and I already have the new filter installed. And then we're gonna take our new O-ring, take a little bit of the oil, not much, just a little bit. And then we're gonna put this bad boy around and just work it down. You want to make sure it's in the proper groove, like so. A little bit of oil helps seal it up a little bit. Now we're gonna go ahead and put this back in. Take your canister straight in. Go ahead and tighten it by hand. And this gets torqued to 25 Newton meters, which is not a lot. So if you have a torque wrench that does Newton meters, you can go ahead and use that. If you don't, typically it's whatever you can do by hand. So what I'm gonna do is just do a light little, just to make sure the O-ring sealed on there. Oh, that's not straight. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's good enough. That's probably a little bit more than 25 Newton meters. Then we're gonna wipe everything again, make sure everything's sealed. Now, since this oil filter is obviously horizontally, you can't pre-lube it or pre-fill it, so yeah, so that's why. But if you can fill your oil filter, like on the Camaro when I did it, you could fill the oil filter because it goes straight up, then you want to do that, try to fill it up a little bit. So now we'll put this cover back on and we'll start doing the fill-up process. So this vehicle takes about 6.5 to 6.7 quarts. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put about six and some change in right away, and then we'll let it run for a minute, let the oil filter fill up, because obviously you guys know it's horizontally, and then we'll go ahead and check the dipstick level. All right, so that's the first 5. If you guys are not aware, buy your oil from Walmart. Walmart sells these for cheaper. The 5-quart jug was about $24.99 or something like that. At AutoZone, that mobile one would be freaking like 30 bucks or 35 bucks. So if you guys haven't been doing so already, buy your oil from Walmart. Most of the time it's cheaper. All right, so that is 6. Now we're gonna put about 1/2 quart of this one, and then we'll run it, and then we'll check it. Not quite. So that's about 1/2 quart. Right. Seal it up. And if you see on these, they have 2 little dots, almost like braille. So you guys see that right there? So obviously you want to be in the middle of those 2 dots. Like I said, it's gonna read off because the car is at an angle right now, but we want to get it a little bit closer before we, and then we'll set it down. So it's marking a little low, like we suspected. So it's close enough for now. So what we'll do is we'll get the car off of jack stands and we'll top off the oil a little bit, and we'll make sure it's not leaking underneath, and then we'll be good.